This is a huge honor and something that I will treasure for my lifetime. This is an honor that must be shared among all of you. And it was my good fortune to have worked on the SURF campaign. You know, there are a lot of reasons why this campaign succeeded. You know, the young people on this campus are among the strongest undergraduates anywhere. You know, our students are passionate, curious intellectuals, and they have proven their ability to succeed in one of the most rigorous academic and research environments anywhere. And our success also comes from the dedication and participation of virtually every faculty member on this campus. And we must acknowledge Dr. Fred Scher, whose vision has served as a guiding principle since 1979. And Fred has been a steady and strong light that has illuminated the path for this program. There are many SURF board members and volunteers who established endowments and who gave of their time and their ideas, and they contributed in ways that are deeply felt by this program. Those volunteers have served on the SURF board and have provided thoughtful guidance and support. John G. was the chairman of the board. When I worked on this campaign, Kirk Dawson was the vice chairman. And Carl served as the head of the development committee. We had fun. We were energized. We had fun. It was highly rewarding to work with these volunteers. They were dedicated to the mission of SURF, and they wanted to provide this research opportunity to as many students as possible. You know, they brought great common sense and insight into the campaign planning and continually brought a reality check for us to the process. Each wanted, you know, to have as many donors experience this SURF donor experience, this very positive experience that our the SURF donors have, and they wanted to expand the base of support for Caltech. And they helped us achieve this. You know, there's a deep-seated surfing culture, and it really, it starts in the SURF office with Candace and Carol and Stephanie, and they put in much energy and effort, and while devoting many talents to making this program thrive. And we have to remember Carol and Ash. Her many efforts to build the strong foundation for this program has made an indelible mark on SURF. Let's give them a hand. Our faculty, our students, our volunteers, our donors, and our SURF staff. I want to welcome many of my development colleagues here tonight. Brian Lee, our vice president, and Krista, his wife. My talented boss, Val Otten, assistant vice president. And June Paust, who hired me at Caltech in 2002. Thank you for coming. But I want to tell my development colleagues how much my interactions with you mean to me. How much I value your support, and how productive our collaborations are for Caltech. There are several others with whom I'm very close, who have traveled from South Bend, from Atlanta, from Boston, from Palm Springs, Pat and Megan and Alice and Bill. It means a great deal to me to have you here celebrating this with me. So I spent some time thinking about the many people with whom I met during this campaign. And behind every surf gift, there are personal and often touching reasons why someone decides to invest in this program. You know, some of the more obvious things, you know, our donors were interested in supporting this legacy of discovery. They wanted to support this rigorous education and these powerful collaborations in research. You know, each wanted to support that enterprising spirit, that passion that so many of our undergraduates have here. Numerous donors wanted to honor parents who instilled a love of science at a very early age, or faculty members wish to name an endowment for someone who had a transformational impact on their lives. So I'm going to highlight just a few of many, many stories shared with me. So I had an opportunity to work with the class of 1952 reunion volunteer, whom I'll refer to as the class ringmaster. He set the bar pretty high for both the participation rate and the class gift goal. So we got started, due in large part to his efforts and the generosity of this class. We were able to create the first of two class of 1952 surf endowments. And our class of 52 reunion ringmaster, Ray Decibel, and his wife Ann are here tonight. I recall a gift from a widow who believed her husband's life was transformed by his undergraduate experience here at Caltech. She believed she could best honor his memory by fostering the true potential now and in the future of our students through a surf endowment. And there was an alumnus from the class of 1940, a double E major, and his wife, who established a Surf Scholars Endowment, which provides 6 surf fellowships in perpetuity. And this is part of a larger legacy that they wish to create for Caltech. And I'm gratified that Dr. and Mrs. Tomiyasu are here this evening with us. I'm not sure where they are. I worked with an ME alumnus from the class of 1936. One of his first gifts to Caltech was a surf endowment. And I recall introducing him to his students, and he was proud to be a part of this program. And he really enjoyed hearing from these students what they were doing. This alumnus decided he was going to invest in scholarships, and he was going to help Caltech refurbish the Fleming House. After decades of running a busy, privately held engineering firm, which he founded right after college, he told me how fortunate he felt after all these years to have reconnected with Caltech, a place he loved and respected. His widow, his son and daughter have continued a legacy of extraordinary support for this institution. And finally, there was an alumnus from the class of 1935. He described his childhood as impoverished after losing his father as a toddler. He arrives at Caltech, dirt poor, those were his words. And he was on a full scholarship. And shortly after arriving, he is mentored by Nobel laureate Thomas Hunt Morgan. After he completes his bachelor's degree in biology, he goes on to Harvard Medical School, and he goes on to a distinguished career in medicine. 70 years later, with tears in his eyes, he tells me that no one in his long life has ever had a more powerful influence, personally or professionally, than Thomas Hunt Morgan. In recognition of the place that Caltech held in his life and the opportunities afforded to him at a critical time, he made a bequest to Caltech, and we honor his memory with endowed serf. We are privileged to have his daughter here tonight, B.J. Pike, and his two sons. And his two sons, Henry and Captain Larry Stuffy. Thank you. So these are just a few of many examples that reinforce in my mind why Caltech is such a remarkable place and why SURF is such a remarkable program. I hope these stories serve to inspire, to elevate, and to challenge us. With the success of the Last Surf campaign, we've of course better secured the financial foundation of this program, but we have really done something more. We are helping Caltech distinguish itself as the #1 teaching and research university in the world. As American universities, including Caltech, are faced with shrinking research dollars,